Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos, another paid request this time for Brian. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a film called The Lives of Others from 2006. Now, in all truthfulness, I'm not the right guy to review this type of movie. This just isn't my kind of movie. It's a 2 hour and 16-minute movie, give or take, that won an Academy Award for Best Foreign Film. It might have been Pan's Labyrinth. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But I do know it won the Oscar for Best Foreign Film. And it's one of those things where the story is pretty much is in the 80s, where you used to have East and West Berlin. It's a German film in its German native language. Watch it with subtitles. And it deals with the secret police, the Stasi. And they've wiretapped this writer. They keep tabs on everybody. So our lead guy, who's a wiretapper, he listens in and monitors the writer and his girl. And our lead guy realizes that the girl, one of the reasons it's being done is because a higher up likes the girl and kind of wants her for himself. But our lead guy kind of feels for the situation and tries to help him out. Even tells the lady, hey, listen, don't be seeing that guy anymore. Stick with your writer, like stick with who you love. And aside from some dialogue I didn't mind the bit at the beginning where our lead is teaching this class and he talks about how interrogation works. He says the more guilty they are, the more calm they become. The more innocent they are, the more wild they are. That's because as time goes on, the guilty realizes, hey, I know what I did. So the more you interrogate them, the more calm they are, because which I don't know if that's true. I mean, it's an interesting notion. But you have some crazy motherfuckers that still maintain their innocence. And they'll go more and more batshit crazy. So I don't know. But the way he says nonstop interrogation is the key, at least that's what he believes. So like I said, during the story, the Stasi guy warms up and helps them behind the scenes. Even to this point where the girl is kind of being forced to turn on the guy, on her hubby, on her love. Something about they didn't like what this writer wrote, so they have to find that. They have to prove that he wrote it, so they gotta find the typewriter. And unbeknownst to anybody else, our lead guy, the wiretapper, hid the typewriter. But before no one ever knows that. So the girl's guilt. She feels guilty. Spoiler: she runs out. She gets hit by a car. She dies in the writer's arms. Pretty soon after, they can't prove it, but they figure that okay, you have something to do with this. So you know what? You're off this wiretapping case. You're going to be opening letters with Steam opening letters for the rest of your career. And then in a matter of a few years, the Berlin Wall comes down, and now things are greatly changed. Then you have finale where the lead guy, the writer, he kind of puts two and two together and he finds the evidence. He finds that he was wiretapped. He looks into that day and goes, well, wait a minute. There's no way she could have moved my typewriter. Who could have? Then he realizes this guy helped save his life. And he wants to talk to the guy, but he stops because now this guy just delivers mail. So later on, this writer writes a book called Sonata of a Good Man, and he does a little thank you to this guy. So the guy smiles at that, buys one for himself, and the movie's pretty much over. That's pretty much the gist of the story. And I don't know, it's one of those things where I just found it very boring. I gotta admit, I found it very boring. This just isn't my cup of tea with this kind of movie, this kind of story. Or the characters. I don't think the acting was that bad. It's just 8.49 to be 92% raw tomatoes. Let's say it won. Let's see. I want to see what it was up against on the Academy Awards. If it lets me. Oh, it doesn't let me go that way. Okay. I'll just type in this then. Because I do want to double check on this. I gotta remember I gotta go like a year ahead. Yeah, Pan's Labyrinth was on there. And this beat it. I just find that funny because I've never heard of this film before, but I hear a lot of people talk about Pan's Labyrinth. But yeah, this one, it just wasn't my cup of tea. Like, this film just wasn't for me. In fact, I mean, I'm kind of sitting there going, wonder why you requested this. I mean, I appreciate it, but I'm like, wonder why you requested this. Like a 2 hour and 17 minute German drama. I mean, I appreciate it. Let's see. It won the BAFTA Award for Best Film not in the English Language. Nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Foreign Language. It cost $2 million and grossed $77 million worldwide. It was the first notable drama film about the subject of the fall of the Berlin Wall after a series of comedies. Well, at least of the German Democratic Republic, I should say. I do know some people criticize, like, the Stasi police were never this nice or kind, so I'm saying that one of them was this kind enough to help these guys out. Some people took it as an affront, going, no, the Stasi police would really, they compare them to the Nazis. These guys would really fuck you over, and making them one of the good guys, and people, I know a lot of people question that. They go, what? And yeah, a lot of people liked it. Roger Ebert, 4 stars. Powerful but quiet film, constructive of hidden thoughts and secret desires. LA Times, Kenneth Turan. Dramatic tension of the film comes from being meticulously plotted. It places its key characters in high stakes predicaments where what they are forced to wager is their talent, their very lives, even their souls. I'm glad these guys got a lot out of this, because to me, I just got boredom. It's not that I need action movie. I mean, hey, action is my favorite genre. I'm sorry, but when I look at even dramas, I mean, I love The Shawshank Redemption, Uncut Gems. I saw that. I like that movie. There's a lot to give me a list. I'll tell you, but according to German author Christoph Hein, the movie is loosely based on his life story. In a 2019 article, he recalls that the director interviewed him in 2002 and that his name was mentioned in the opening credits of the premiere screening. In Hines' opinion, the highly dramatized events of the movie bear little resemblance to his life experience, which is why he asked him to delete his name from the credits. In Hines' words, the movie does not depict the 1980s in the GDR, but is a scary tale taking place in a fantasy land comparable to Tolkien's Middle Earth. Damn. But there it all. Anna Funder, the author of the book Stasiland, says this is a superb film despite not being true to reality. She claims that it was not possible for a Stasi operative to have hidden information from superiors because Stasi employees themselves were watched and almost always operated in teams. Yeah. Maybe that stuff was kind of in the back of my head too, going kind of hard to buy into some of this stuff. The lives of others has been referred to in political protests following the 2013 mass surveillance disclosures. Some distress the importance of the lives of others in light of Edward Snowden's revelations. My knowledge of the Stasi is not very extensive, but it's largely from a movie called The Lives of Others, which won the Oscar for Best Foreign Film. Everybody should get that now. It should be reissued, preferably, and it has subtitles. What that shows is what life can be with a government that knew as much as the Stasi did then. But if they know, and one thing they can do with that information right now is to turn people into informants, so that the government has not only the information that people say on electronic devices, they have what they say in the bedroom, because their wife or their whoever spouse is an informant. And that's what happened. They tried to push the wife, the girlfriend, to be an informant, and she felt guilty. That's why she ran out, and that's why she got hit by the car. As happened in the movie, that is what did happen in East Germany. And if we were to get that here, there's the infrastructure for it right now. It will become a democratic republic in the same sense as the East German Democratic Republic. But I'm like, for example, Enemy of the State told me that story, but much more entertaining fashion as well. So, you can have The Lives of Others, I'll have Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman. Of course, Gene Hackman was in a film back in the day called The Conversation, X-Files. A lot of episodes of X-Files is that kind of government's watching you, listening to you, paranoia. Is it really paranoid though if they're really after you? So maybe it's the thing is that I'm so used to like X-Files, a lot of that stuff, a lot of those other type of movies that they really do much for me. I don't think it needed to be 2 hours and 17 minutes. And just like the acting wasn't bad, but I just didn't gravitate to the characters where I really was honed in on their personalities or their. I just didn't really care a whole lot. I hate to say it. So I'm sorry it's not much of a review. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I apologize to Bryan. I'm sorry, man. It just was not my cup of tea. And yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I just found it rather a boring affair. Sometimes this is how it is. Like I look at, you know, but I know. You're just a simpleton that likes action movies. Well, yeah, I do. You're right. You're right. You're right. I will say though, for the top 100 drama movies on IMDb, supposedly top 100, I like 12 Angry Men, both the 1950s and the William Friedkin remake. I did not mind One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I like Taxi Driver. But some of these I have not seen, to be fair. It's not. I will admit it's not the genre I go more towards. Whiplash I liked. I liked Whiplash. Changing Lanes. Well, that's on there. This is probably like someone's list. That's why. What do you? I like Changing Lanes. Castaway I enjoyed. But I will admit, are these my tip? No, I'm sorry, no. They're just not my typical kind of movies. So whether it be Amadeus, whether it be going through some of these, Sunset Boulevard, Lawrence of Arabia, although that's more adventure than drama. The Grapes of Wrath, okay, there. Like, The Grapes of Wrath, they're just not what I strive for when searching and going into movies. I can appreciate some of them, some I can enjoy with other stuff added into there, but I don't know. We all have our different tastes. So I'm a simpleton. What can I say? I'm a simpleton. I can admit that. I'm a dumb fuck. I just love fights, gore, and explosions. What can I say? That's just me. But with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.